Hello, Otafest listeners, and welcome to the newest episode of the Otafest podcast. I'm Jay, and I'm joined by Nancy and Angelo today.
Hello.
Hello.
What a surprise.
Surprise. It's just us. Still a surprise, though.
Yes.
Exactly. You never know.
Yes.
Someday it could be like, I don't know, Morgan Freeman. Last week it was William Shatner. Weird, right? We're all over
really?
the place.
Was it really, Jay?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it was.
Okay.
Before we get too far, just a quick reminder that while we may not be able to provide a physical place for fans to get together and celebrate our common interest this year, we are thrilled to offer an online alternative, Otafest 2021, a live-streamed event. More information will be announced over the next few months, so please keep an eye out for a sneak peek into this year's features and programming. Please visit otafest.com for full details of this event.
Wonderful. I'm excited
I'm looking
for
forward
it.
to it.
I have
I've
a
been
lot
able
of
to
work
see
to do.
the back end of what's going in, and I'm just saying that I need to book some time off of work so I can make sure I catch the whole stream.
Nice.
Is this I know you've been with Dio for quite a while, but like, is this the first time you really started seeing the back end of some Otafest stuff, like assembling?
I mean, I've been staff for a while, so I've had
Yeah.
all the emails. It's just that I am a lazy bastard and I'm kind of uninvolved, so I don't always read them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess you could
Very
say
nice.
yeah.
I'm just excited because we've gotten to do some con planning this year already, and it's very, very gratifying to get back into it.
Nice. Very nice.
My God, as like a hobbyist streamer myself, getting to see the planning for content and everything, it's like, wow, if I put that much work into my own streams, I too would only stream once a year.
Hey, that's fair. There's a lot of work going into this.
Yes.
No one person could pull this off.
No, absolutely not. So I'm thoroughly
Oh.
anticipating.
I honestly believe that people will be pleasantly surprised with what we're bringing in. I know a lot of other cons are doing like sort of the virtual thing, and you know, as much as we always would love to be the forefront of certain things, the truth of the matter is that like it doesn't really matter. Like we run cons and other people ran cons before us, and you know, while it could be like not as original, the thing that is original is the Otafest feel.
Well,
So-
like some of the other online cons showed us the things that the pitfalls that we should avoid. Like clearly we should not invite Metallica for a live performance on our stream.
that is not Metallica's fault or the con's fault. That is Twitch's fault.
It's kind of Metallica's fault.
For
Is
existing-
It
though?
really
Music-
kind of is.
It is for making music before Twitch. for daring to release original material and then play their
It's
material.
It's not that they released material and then played the material. It's that they were at the forefront of the copyright conflicts of the late 90s, early 2000s.
I guess, but that's like that. But that's not like. I mean, it's related, but it's not like the direct cause of what happened at that stream.
Metallica was one of the driving factors for how copyright affected the digital age. It absolutely was.
And so was Disney.
And Disney.
Yeah, Disney
I
was the other
definitely would
half
say
of it.
Disney. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I say Metallica because yes, they were one of the catalysts of it. But if it wasn't Metallica, someone else would have. Like, it's just, you can kind of blame Metallica, but it would have been anyone else if it wasn't Metallica.
True.
But you know it's
That's
not
fair.
Metallica? Coffee.
Lots of things.
Okay, so
many things.
we've talked
Coffee
about
being one
coffee
of
in the past on the stream. A lot, actually. We went through coffee in quite a few different ways.
It's like we're coffee addicts or something.
I'm not.
I know
For the
Jay
record,
isn't.
again,
I don't know
Um,
how you manage to not be a coffee addict when you do night shifts.
It's mostly just for the
I
pumpkin
don't know.
spice, remember?
Mostly
Yeah,
for
that's
pumpkin
true.
spice. That's like I like flavor, but I don't really care about the caffeine content. Anyway, I don't want to get into that again, beating a dead horse. But it's just I don't know, food. I like food more than anything.
Yeah.
Continuity.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
today I am drinking some coffee, and every now and then, usually I prefer my coffee to be black, but every now and then I like to get some kind of additive for the coffee, and
such
absolutely
as.
my favorite is Irish cream. Hell fucking yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like anyone who knows will say, yeah, Bailey's. Bailey's is like the Irish cream that you put in your coffee. Or
Mhm.
if you want to be budget, you get Carolyn's. And both of those are fantastic. They're both absolutely good.
Doesn't
But
Kirkland's also have a Bailey's now?
do they?
I think they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have never actually had Kirkland, any kind of Kirkland alcohol.
Well, Kirkland brand champagne tastes exactly the same as any other champagne.
Well, I've heard that the Kirkland vodka is literally just Grey Goose in a different bottle.
That is true.
Like, I've heard that the Costco house brand stuff is absolutely high tier. But what I'm drinking today is basically Bailey's, but way more bougie.
So,
Like it is Bailey's, but the bottle costs $5 more.
$5 whole dollars.
It's
Five
bougie.
whole dollars.
It is.
Is this
That's
for a
gonna
2-6?
break the bank,
you say.
boys.
Wait, now that I
Bougie,
know what a
bougie.
2.6 is it a 2.6?
Yes, it's a 2.6.
Oh,
So like whereas
Two
a
plus
2.6
six is
of
eight.
Bailey's is usually in the $30 to $33 range, what I had in my coffee this morning was something called Cool Swan, and it hits
Even
like
the
the
name is
$38
bougie.
range. Oh yeah, it's super bougie.
wow.
But it comes straight out of Ireland, and
Ooh.
they use the
Fresh.
the fresh Irish cream with the Madagascar vanilla and the Cote d'Ivoire cocoa and the single malt Irish whiskey.
As someone who has actually ordered like Madagascar bourbon vanilla bean before, it does taste very different from your standard vanilla bean.
I've had Madagascar vanilla products before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's absolutely fantastic. Like the last thing
It's
that I
worth
had
the extra
was
money.
there's Madagascar vanilla bourbon gelato that comes
Ooh.
from Fiasco, which is a gelato shop here in Calgary, and that is absolutely a treat.
Ooh, did you hear Fiasco has rebranded?
Yes, they did. They're not called Fiasco anymore, but that's the name that I remember.
I think they're called Righteous now, if I remember
Is that what they're
right.
called? Because their
think
place
so.
is right down the street from my work.
Ah.
Like I used to drive past it every day, but since I moved, I come to work from the other direction, so I would have to go
No,
drive
Fiasco still
300
exists.
feet past where I work.
Fiasco still exists.
Oh, do they?
I mean, I have the power of the internet right before me, and I've decided to use it.
Okay.
Wow.
And Fiasco Gelato is a thing, and Righteous Gelato is a thing. The weird thing is that when I type in Fiasco Gelato, so the first result is Fiasco, and the second result is Righteous.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't understand. Both websites exist. Maybe they did change, and they just never got rid of the second website, but that's real strange.
Well, why
That's
wouldn't they?
probably correct.
I think that's
Like-
probably it, because I found another article that says
You-
formerly Fiasco Gelato.
You don't time your rebranding to when your domain name expires. Let me tell you that.
Can you just cancel your domain name?
Hmm?
Usually you could just
Why
get
would you?
a
You've already
forward,
paid for it.
though.
Yeah, you just
yeah,
forward
but like
it.
I would
Yeah,
just
but they
forward
don't
it to the new
forward it.
website.
I'm telling you, the website exists.
They're two different
Oh.
websites?
Oh, it's
Wow.
not no, it just, I don't know why they didn't forward it. The website for Fiasco is just their contact page,
Okay.
but they haven't
Interesting.
removed any of the Fiasco branding or anything. It's strange, yo.
But yeah. So that nice fancy Irish cream coffee is how I've started my day today. And
Nice.
it is thoroughly good.
Have you tried amaretto?
Amaretto not in coffee, but I feel like
In
that would
coffee,
be really good.
it does taste very amazing.
Ooh,
And
that
if
would be
you
super
prefer
nice and almondy.
if you prefer
Isn't
a
it like
little
the
bit of
almond
cream, that
type?
goes well too.
Isn't amaretto like almond based in some
It
Exactly.
is almond based.
Yes.
way? Yeah.
It tastes like delightful roasted almonds.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ugh. Like there are certain cocktails with amaretto, and you can just taste it immediately. It like fills your nose, and it's just
Yep.
like, oh, yes.
It's
Give me
great.
more.
I just want to smell like amaretto for the rest of my life.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't
that
be
would-
bad.
Actually, now that you mention it, I have some hand cream that I got the other day. That's
Mhm.
almond and milk hand cream. Hand cream, not
Ham cream.
Ham cream.
Ham cream.
Hammed. What you said was
Cream for
almond.
my
and,
hams.
no. What you said was almond and milk hammed cream. I was like, I don't know what the process of hamming is, but I don't want it.
It's the process of curing pork into a ham. So obviously
no,
this adds
it's
value.
the process of
It's
creaming your
beating the
hams.
almonds with ham until it becomes a creamy texture.
That's how they do it. That's
But,
why it's so bougie.
Hammed cream, you say.
So
Aurora
that one,
Borealis, you say.
it makes my hands smell like almonds, and
Yeah.
every time I smell them, like my hands feel great now. But every time I smell
Mhm.
them, I'm like, I could just eat that.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, I don't recommend it, but it's pretty delicious.
No, don't eat your body parts.
Don't.
No,
It's not good
especially
for you.
not when they're still attached to you.
Ooh, yeah. Not so great.
No.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about gelato now because you mentioned gelato, and I'm like, gelato.
Now that it's finally warming up, you're like, oh my god, this +3,
I had
+3
gelato
temperatures.
in the wintertime. What are you, a pleb?
My god, it's got
I
me
have winter-
sweating. It's got me sweating.
have-
I need to cool down. I need
I'll
to
have
cool
the
down.
cool
I
down
need myself
anytime I
some
want,
gelato.
sir. I
Ice
will have the
cool
cool down
gelato.
anytime I want.
I mean, fair.
Including the
but
winter.
now is even more appropriate.
Yeah. It's,
Fuck
it's finally
appropriateness.
t-shirt
I have
weather,
it
You know?
when I want.
You know, the sun
I have
is
Slurpees.
barely
at
shining
-40.
through the clouds.
I have Slurpees
Ice
at negative
is out-
40.
is
I will
currently
have
outside melting.
gelato at -30. I do not care for the temperature ambient when I can be enjoying my goods interior.
It is currently the correct outdoor weather to be making myself a smoothie with lychee jelly and going outside for a walk.
Hell yeah. I mean, if you waited till it got warmer, like if it was +10, that'd be like too warm outside almost.
Oh my god, I should just put amaretto in the smoothie. That's what I should do.
Yes, you should.
Oh my lord, I'm gonna go do that.
Oh, and the smooth. I mean, to each their own. I don't think
Yeah.
I would do that.
Get some
Knowing the
almond
flavor.
flavor in with your fruit flavors. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That
but
could
it's
go
not
real
like
well.
it's pure almond.
No,
No.
there's alcohol in there. That's the whole point.
Exactly.
Yes.
I
it's
mean, if
true.
it was literally just pure
I
almond,
don't-
that would be like almond
I'm just
butter.
saying that I don't think alcoholic smoothies exist for a reason other than like strawberry daiquiris or something like that. which
They
is basically-
absolutely exist. They're the
They
strawberry
do.
daiquiris.
Absolutely.
but a
Especially if
slur-
there's any
no,
banana in
I would
there.
I would call that's like that's a
Have you never
Slurpee
just
thing.
poured vodka into a Slurpee?
But that is not the same thing as a smoothie.
Yeah.
A smoothie is not a Slurpee.
Okay, but here's the thing. You can go to a liquor store and you can get
Yes, you are
liquor
describing the
infused
thing
whipped
that I
cream,
am saying it is
liquor
not.
infused ice cream. Like there's
Uh-huh.
nothing stopping you from making a liquor infused smoothie.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there that there is a liquor infused Slurpees, which is more of the strawberry daiquiri, and then you have liquor induced milkshakes,
Yes.
also possible, but smoothies, I'm going to say no
Why?
because the base ingredients of smoothies are savory.
You've never had a savory
no?
cocktail before?
Describe a savory smoothie versus and both other ones are dessert like treats or like desserts. Smoothies are generally regarded as meal replacements.
Wait, are we talking about the same smoothies here?
I don't think we are.
I don't think we are.
Like the only
use the right
smoothie
term.
that I would have as a meal replacement might be for breakfast. But in all other situations, it's like a fruit smoothie. Like you just take like some bananas, some strawberries, some
meal
yogurt, a little bit
replacements
of
are
milk,
usually
some
like
ice cubes,
shakes
throw
or
them in a
something.
blender, push that button, and 2 shots of vodka later,
Or rum.
and you are done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think we're talking about the same smoothie. I think what Jay's talking about is the meal replacement shakes.
Yes, I think he is.
And those are generally called smoothies, specifically. Do you know why they're called smoothies? No. Do you know why they're called smoothies?
Because they're smooth.
Because they take what is normally rough in the form of food to be made into smoothies. So those are the things with like almond milk and, I don't know, kale and strawberries
and
like,
bananas.
yeah, exactly.
And
But like they
not
take all that
because
to
they're
make it
savory,
into
though.
You can have
the smoothie.
savory smoothies.
But what you're talking about is what I would call a Slurpee or an alcoholic Slurpee or something like that.
No, because Slurpees are usually
No.
just crushed ice and syrup.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm. And what do you
Like
think a daiquiri is?
Crushed ice and syrup. But a smoothie, you would have like legitimate
Frozen
food
fruit
items.
is involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Or
you could have a
yogurt or
smoothie
etc.
for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think I've had more dessert smoothies in my life than meal replacement smoothies.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Also, I would not call
Dessert.
those savory.
Smoothie. Again, let us utilize the power of the internet. That is right before us. 8 guilt-free smoothies that taste like dessert. 10 vegan dessert smoothies that are secretly healthy.
It sounds like you're it sounds like you're specifically looking for like healthy
I'm
smoothies
telling you,
instead of dessert
type it.
smoothies.
Do you not have a computer right in front of you, Angelo? Type
No,
it in
I
yourself,
don't.
man.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to go with Angelo and say that alcohol
Then
in a
you're
smoothie
wrong.
is definitely not a new
At
idea,
least in a
way.
smoothie.
Yeah.
and
but,
it's totally doable.
Wait a minute.
And I thought you
Jay's
guys
saying that
called yourselves
alcohol and
foodies.
dinner doesn't work when. Have you never had like beef braised in like wine, or
You mean
like,
when the alcohol cooks off, Angelo?
So it doesn't matter.
It does
You're
still
still
taste
using it?
whiny.
Do you know the purpose of alcohol in cooking?
Have you never had wine with dinner
No.
before?
Do you know the purpose of alcohol with cooking? Yes or no?
To make food taste good.
But do you know the purpose of alcohol? The actual
As far as the
ethanol?
alcohol goes, it always burns off. So it's just like, I feel like it's just the
So
vehicle
you're getting
used
really
for whatever
close.
thing.
Do you know what it actually does in cooking?
What does the alcohol portion do?
The whole point of alcohol in cooking, whether it's baking or just like stovetop cooking, is to replace water. But it's still a liquid that you can use that cooks off, so you don't have the same sort of overall like wateriness that you might add when you have something that requires a liquid to be used in cooking.
That sounds
In the same
fake.
way, you know, I can't help you anymore.
Well, here's the thing. Like
I can only tell
the
you what it
strongest
is,
wines,
Angelo.
the strongest wines are like 17 or 18%.
Uh-huh.
The strongest beers are like 5%.
Right.
I feel like when the alcohol cooks off, it's going to cook off faster, absolutely. And so you're right, it will reduce faster.
No,
But
it has nothing
you
to do
can
with
get
reducing.
the same amount of reduction with any other cooking liquid.
So water adds a certain
Wetness?
undesirable, like sort of, I would call it more of a texture in the dish than when you add alcohol. The whole point of alcohol cooking off is not just to reduce it. It leaves like other, like obviously you don't just pour in hand sanitizer. You put in like wine because it adds usually
It's got
the
all the
flavor
other
profile.
things in there.
Exactly. It's sort of like
the
chicken
alcohol
broth and
is
things like
just
that as well.
there.
But the alcohol, it's like when you do baking, if you've ever made a pie crust or pastry dough, you want to use alcohol and not water because it actually cooks off
What?
and then leaves it behind, and that's how you get a flaky crust.
What?
It's literally part of it.
I have never, with the exception of vanilla, and in that case, it's literally just
Uh-huh.
because the vanilla is suspended in alcohol, so the alcohol
Which is why
burns off,
vanilla
cooks
pods
off,
taste
and
different
just
and kind of
leaves
work
you with the
differently.
vanilla.
Yeah.
But I've never, whenever making a pie crust or anything, have used alcohol or anything of that nature.
Try
I
it.
have not either. But now I'm
I've
going to
never
look
seen a
into it.
recipe like that.
Nope.
I don't know how you've not seen a recipe like that. It's the only recipes worth using that I know.
Yeah, I've never heard of that
And I'll look
before.
into that later.
Yeah,
You know what I've never heard of before either?
a lot of things.
What is Valheim?
I'm pretty sure you've heard of Valheim before.
I've heard of it. And I've seen people say, yeah, it's Viking Minecraft. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's not Viking Minecraft. It's Viking. Maybe it's like Viking Don't Starve. Closer. Yeah,
Viking
that's
Don't
closer.
Starve? Okay.
Okay.
Because Minecraft is like inherently sort of technical, because you can build like computation in Minecraft, for example, but you can't do that in Don't Starve, and you can't do that in Valheim.
So Valheim
either.
isn't Turing complete.
So it's more of a survival game than it is
It's absolutely a survival
Minecraft.
I've been playing it. I've only played maybe about 6 hours so far, but it's been pretty good. It's
Will
got
you
a sort of a
continue?
steeper learning curve than a lot of
Oh.
other survival type games. I haven't played Rust or 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die is probably like a big extreme of that kind of thing, because again, every 7 days is like a fuck fest. But
Jeez.
Valheim is a little bit more random. It's got a lot more world building. Like the environment is really nice.
Mhm.
It's very charming, because
Charming?
it uses it's sort of a mix of like low res like poly textures
Mhm.
mixed with some like higher res um also textures, I guess, but not everything looks how do you call it, like all 8-bit and all what's the thing, there's a term for that, voxel ish. It's very much very well put together, atmospheric, sort of Nordic feeling regions where you're going to fight monsters and build a very big base and survive the night. And well, the nighttime's not too bad, but you have to survive like random event attacks and stuff like that.
Oh my.
What are the enemies in Valheim? 'Cause it's not monsters, right?
It's monsters. I mean, it's
Is it
based out of
monsters?
Nordic mythology, so I would call them monsters.
Okay.
Some
What
of
kind
them
of
are mythic.
monsters?
Some of them are mythic in nature. I think.
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't gone that far. Like you have to.
You've
It's
never encountered
progressive.
a monster?
It's not like
Then how do you know they're there?
because you can see them. Weird.
But you
Um,
just said you've never fought one.
I didn't say I didn't fight one. I said I don't know all the monsters. Those are different
Not
statements
all the
entirely.
monsters. Just tell us what some of the monsters are.
Some of them are seagulls because you can kill
Nice.
them. No, they're not. The monsters aren't seagulls.
Seagulls
You can
are
just
the
kill them
worst
for
Like,
fun.
what?
monsters I've ever encountered.
No, there's like one's called like necks, which I like literally necks, but I think that's
Necks.
related to like the Czech or Polish nektar, which is sort of like a drowned zombie a creature monster kind of thing. I think it's like regional
Crazy.
to the Scandinavians.
Okay.
I wonder if you'll
I
run
think
into
there's
any
like
Nordic
other sort of.
mermaids.
I don't know. We haven't got. I don't think we've gotten that far yet. But you can sail. Sailing is a thing. Flying is not a thing.
Ooh.
Sailing is a
Hmm.
thing. And I
Okay.
assume that there could be some sort of
Flying isn't a thing.
Leviathan.
Those seagulls are sitting ducks.
Oh hell yeah! No. Honestly, like I've only really encountered sort of goblin type things and the necks, like I was saying.
Okay,
And
okay.
but I assume there are like
I've
a
heard
wide
there's trolls
range
in
of
there.
mythology. I've also heard there are trolls because the server that I joined, which is a mutual friend servers, is just like they gave me troll clothing to wear.
What?
So it's
Okay.
made of troll leather. So I assume
I was
there
actually
must be,
going to
like,
ask,
troll.
is it clothing that was worn by trolls or is it clothing made out of trolls? But you just answered. It's made out of the
I
trolls.
mean, I don't know
Made
what
out of
trolls
troll.
wear. What if trolls wear trolls too? Maybe it's trolls all the way down. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Wait,
You
it's
never
all
know.
trolls?
It's all trolls.
Always
it's the
has
internet.
been.
It's the internet.
The internet.
It
It's
always
all
has.
trolls and all salt. All the time.
Yes.
But it's quite nice. If you sort of like Minecraft type pacing, it's got that. It's definitely got a steeper learning curve though, because there's like I don't know if anyone's is playing it and listening to this or looking to play, but the fact that you have to, the what is it? The one block that's like in Minecraft where it's the crafting block, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the crafting table. Sorry, that's the word. And you know how you can just place it anywhere and you can just make stuff with it? Doesn't matter
Okay.
where it is. In Valheim, the working or the crafting table in that thing is your god. It is the thing that you must keep safe and close to your
Oh.
heart. And by close to your heart, I mean you need to build a shelter for it before it
Oh
can
my.
even like start working for some reason. But you can't build a shelter for it until you build the crafting table.
Oh.
So you have to build the crafting table, place it outside of an area where you would build a shelter for it, remove the said crafting table, put it back into the shelter so that you can enjoy all of its benefits. Because now
Okay.
it is in a safe place. And that
Interesting.
alone, I wouldn't say is annoying, but it's annoying.
It sounds annoying.
A little bit. Procedurally, it doesn't make a lot of great sense, but it is
I mean,
something that once you get
you're
used to,
building
you
an
just get
altar
used
to your gods, and
Mm-hmm.
the gods will only show favor on you if you protect the altar.
No, those are the little
No?
rune stones and stuff you find around. The landscape's really quite nice. I wish I could progress faster, but maybe that's just like my expectation of like Minecraft. You can just start and then you can just run and go anywhere. Valheim is a little bit gated in the sense that there's like procedural map generation, but like it sort of operates like a ring of difficulty. So like you start in the home ring, next level ring, next level ring after that, next level ring after that of difficulties and stronger monsters and beasts. So
Is there anything about it that really sets it apart from some of the other like multiplayer survival games
you
like
can be a
Rust
Viking.
or well, I can be a Viking in Pirates, Vikings, and Knights.
Have you
Except I can
seen
also be
Angelo's
knights or
beard?
pirates
He's
in
already
Pirates,
a
Vikings, and
Viking.
Knights.
I think it's really just comes down to atmosphere and exploring the Norse legend, sort of, because you're supposed to be serving Odin, and Valheim is this region that you're taking for him.
Okay.
You're mastering
Okay.
Mm,
for him to present to the All Daddy.
the All Father.
No, I meant what I said.
All right, you do you.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's fun.
Cool.
Would
That's
you
pretty cool.
stream
That's
it,
pretty cool.
Nancy?
I
Would you
maybe
play?
maybe now that I've started streaming again. Now with
Yeah.
60% more hand injury.
Now, how?
But why?
What happened? Why have you
'Kay.
injured your hands? From
Why do you
streaming?
hate your hands so much?
You're not
So-
supposed to be throwing the bits at the servers.
No, you're not, especially when you have people throwing bits at you. But so you know when you have a hand injury and you're supposed to be like baby it and wait for it to get better before you start really pushing its boundaries. I did not do the wait until it feels better. And I
that's a you
also have
problem.
a poorly chosen push to talk button, which is basically the back button on my mouse. And so if you
Wait.
imagine the kind of hand injury that I have, and just constantly pushing the back button either really hard because I'm frustrated or whatever, and I'm talking to people over Discord while I'm playing, it's not good. So yeah,
Did
now
you
my
like
hand
hurt your
hurts
thumb
again.
or something?
It was a thumb injury. So like the really big muscle that's like at the fleshy part of your palm. It's that muscle, and then it's also the tendon that attaches to the other side of your thumb.
Oh,
Mhm.
So that
Okay.
happened back in late summer, and I just have been aggravating it over and over. And that's bad. That's on me for just like not taking care of it properly. But I did start
yeah.
streaming again. So that's happening.
Just bind your push to talk to like B or something, or
What if-
V.
Ah,
Or
Since those
or
are like right on your
R3.
thumb near your
No,
your
R3.
spacebar.
R3?
Oh, if you're playing something on a controller.
Yeah,
Or
not
mouse
as much
3
on
could work.
controller.
Like
Uh.
the middle mouse click.
Mouse
mouse
Middle
five.
mouse click? Middle mouse click is my dodge button a lot of the time.
Oh,
Mouse
okay.
5. Mouse 6.
Mouse 5, mouse 6, mouse 7, mouse 8. Clearly, I just need a mouse with more buttons on it.
How many buttons does your mouse have on it?
Currently, it has a back, a forward, left and right, and the middle. So I actually don't
So it's
have
a
like a
standard
super
5-button
macro
mouse.
mouse. Yeah.
I have 7.
You have 7? Where are your 2 extras?
So, because my mouse is actually like an ambidextrous mouse,
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
so it's like perfectly mirrored, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the forward and back that's close to your thumb usually. There's another set on the left and right, and they're
Oh,
not
that's
hard
cool.
to reach. They're a little bit more difficult, but it's also fine because they're not like I would bind them to for use in games where I know that action isn't going to be used very often, but I'd still like it to be bound.
Mm.
I don't need it to be
Okay.
super like accessible because I don't want to press those buttons all that time, you know?
No, that makes sense.
It's useful.
Angelo, what do you have for a push to talk button?
I do the same thing you do. I have mouse 5 set to it, which is one of the side buttons. Like that's the. I don't know. I can't remember which one is mouse 4 and which one is mouse 5. I'm fairly certain mouse 5 is the one that's further towards the front of the mouse.
I'm surprised you guys use push to talk.
Yes,
I only do
because
in certain situations.
I like having push to talk on because then I can say stupid bullshit about my team and they have no idea.
And you're streaming it, so the stream audience knows. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I only use it in the odd instance where I'm not using a keyboard when I'm gaming. So if I'm like mashing keys that are on the laptop and I'm not using my streaming setup, the microphone will pick it up because you'll just hear like lots of banging against the laptop basically. And that's really the only time I'll use push to talk. Otherwise, I'm pretty good without it.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. I just
Like when it comes to, I used to eons ago. I used to use push to talk even while streaming, for the stream audio. The only thing was that I stopped streaming games as often, and so if you're doing like art or something, you don't want to have a push to talk button because like you've got your hand on your tablet and your pen and everything, and then it's like okay, I have to move to my keyboard or my mouse or something, and it's a huge pain. It's a huge pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I went like full on voice activated in OBS, but also because I learned how to use like noise gates and things of that nature.
Do you have your noise gates in OBS, in a virtual mixer, or on an actual mixer?
Virtual mixer. So everything is like a filter in OBS for me.
Nice.
And I've got it like I've got like a pipeline of first like noise suppression comes first. So like all the really quiet stuff gets mostly clipped out by that. Anything that makes it past that will activate the first noise gate. And then no, I should say the only noise gate. And then from there it goes into like 2 different compressors, one to boost everything up. No. One to squish the audio down to a more consistent volume. And then the second compressor boosts it up to a more audible volume while keeping it not peaking.
Yeah, that sounds very similar to the pipeline I use when I'm editing for voice acting. So that's basically the exact pipeline that I use for like audiobooks and just for like when I'm sending in auditions. If I'm sending in raw audio to someone to actually put a real production together, that's when I just send them raw audio and then they get to do all the gating themselves.
Fair enough. That sounds if I didn't have to, rather, what am I trying to say? If I had to do it manually, I would not go through that much effort. But the fact that I said it once in OBS, like 3 years ago, and since then I've only had to modify the noise gate and noise suppression a little bit when I've upgraded my microphone. It's just so set it and forget it that if I had to do it from scratch again, I would forget most of it and I would not know what I'm doing.
Did I tell you I lost all my OBS settings from when I sent my laptop to the shop?
Oh,
I had to redo everything,
rude.
which is why it took me so long to get back into streaming
Did
after getting it
you-
back.
not lose everything anyways? Like in general, was it not just formatted?
It was formatted, but there's only
Right.
one drive.
Yeah, no, I
So
understand that. I'm saying like, so did you know going in it was gonna be formatted?
Yeah, I actually tried to back up all my stuff. It turns out that I didn't back up all of the stuff that I needed from OBS. There's two sets of
Interesting.
settings that you're supposed to export, and I only did one, and
yes.
that one was the useless one.
So you probably backed up your actual settings profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also back up the scene profile, and the scene profile is what saves things like what
Everything.
filters are on what objects. And so that includes
Everything.
microphone filters, video filters, uh, where the scenes are, and everything. Uh, to the point where I actually have my desktop and my laptop, the drives on it set up equally, specifically so that when I export things from OBS on my desktop and bring them to my laptop,
Mm-hmm.
all the files are in the same place on the laptop, so I don't have to
Mm,
redo all the different files.
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a very stream segment.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
mean, we're ramping up to a lot of stream content.
It's true,
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
Uh
I don't know how much we can talk about that, but like setting, I don't know, I like not, it's not setting expectations, like because we've done streams before, but it's always um a little nerve-wracking to me. Not because I don't think we can do it. Obviously we can. We've done it many times before, but like there we are a live event organization. We are not a like production organization, and to make the distinction I think is important. Um but we do a damn well good job, I think. It's just like because it's not something that we have like expertise in necessarily. I'm always like, how could we screw up in a brand new way, or what kind of
oh
new
my god,
technical
there's
program
so many different ways to
problem?
screw up when it comes to streaming.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Like to the point where I feel like while I have watched Twitch streams that don't have problems, and while I have done streams that don't have problems,
Hmm.
I feel like every single streamer, their first few streams are incredibly scuffed. Incredibly scuffed.
And
And the only saving grace that I think we've got is that while we do have a lot of like hobbyist streamers on our team, we've also got a lot of people that don't stream ever
yep,
that could introduce variations. Who
And
knows?
uh,
all kinds of
one of
different
those,
problems.
yeah, one of those things that like I kind of want to touch on because you actually mentioned it way early on. Um, you know, other cons have done streams. We've tried to learn from them too. Not in any sort of like, I want that content, but just like seeing how they literally do things. Because that's how that's sort of the difference between sort of organizing something and wanting to be part of something. So like when you're an organizer, you tend to just want to look at the framework a lot more than you are looking at just pure content. And you know, a lot of cons, well, a handful of cons up until this point have run their digital versions, and I want to applaud them first and foremost because I honestly think that they take on new challenges as well. I presume that like us, a lot of them are live event based and not uh, stream based, digital based production sort of organization. That being said, the things that we're picking up is like we're trying to figure out how much stuff we want live versus pre-recorded, and like it's understandable if we want it pre-recorded because pre-recording means that we don't have to throw to a different location for to pick up the stream to continue literally the process of streaming. Um, we're worried about things like internet connection stuff. We're worried about uh screwing up live in a sense that is beyond just the content, but like one setting in OBS, one setting in Twitch, you know, and then you're pulling your hair out for 30 minutes because you forgot to tick off one box for some reason, or something
Yeah.
didn't import correctly. It's all over. So
Like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine if you were trying to stream from
Yeah.
every single panelist's location, for example,
Oh
and let's
gosh.
say you caught an error on the very beginning of the stream. And let's say maybe, yeah, we gave this scene collection and the settings collection to every single person. We fixed the error on the first person, but now we have to send out the new updated settings and scene collection
Everybody.
to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or would it be better to like have everybody stream to that one central location and then from there to stream it out to the world, so that any issue on the streaming end of things is from that main computer? But then you've got the complication of everybody
Single
connecting to
point
that
of
computer to
failure.
stream. Yeah.
Single
So it's like,
failure is always a
how do you
problem.
balance that? How do you figure that out?
Well, it's one of those things where you just gotta try a bunch of different things and see what works out best. Because at the
Oh,
end of the day,
Exactly.
sometimes it's just better to make it less complicated for everyone involved and putting that burden on like a central team. Sometimes it's not. It really does depend on the experience of everyone who's contributing and what their level of comfort is with everything.
At
You know, are
at the
you
end of the day,
okay?
yeah, at the end of the day, I think we're just like you have to take every new opportunity in stride, and that means we're learning new things. Like again, you're right. We have a lot of hobbyist streamers. We even know some professional streamers, and maybe we'll be tapping on their shoulders to help us out a little bit, give us a little bit of insight on how they do things. Just
Mm-hmm.
because we want, like, um, this is not a small event for us. This is definitely something we're putting a lot of work, a fair amount of resources and everything into for a free show that I think everyone deserves to be a part of. So, you know, patience and all those things, but I think we're gonna do a good job. It's just, boy, the logistics, man. And I've got a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of things that I've got to put together and super busy in my non-Otafest life too. So it's like, boy, howdy. I wish
Boy,
some of this
howdy.
was familiar right now.
Mm-hmm.
More
At least it's only unfamiliar the first time.
True. Thus is the joy of
Yeah.
iterative learning.
So who knows? Maybe when we get COVID too.
electric boogaloo.
Please no. Please no.
No.
Never.
No.
I'm not even going to entertain the thought.
I want
It's too late. You already
a
said
live
it.
event because I don't necessarily want to be doing streaming. Streaming is way more terrifying. I'd rather mess up in person.
As much as I like to say that I like to be the streamer tech support friend, uh, it's really just easy when you're not. If you don't have to stream something, it's better not to. So
Yeah, that's probably true.
if we could just have a live event next year, please.
Yeah,
Please.
Keeping my
it would
fingers
be good.
crossed.
At this point, oh my god. That's the other thing. Oh god. It's only 2 months away.
But Otafest 2022, I want to be in person.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
We are working on it. You can always count on us always planning and always thinking about what the next step is.
Yeah, and I don't
Just
think a lot of people realize that we
careful.
do actually look ahead 3 years into the future when we're planning stuff.
Three
Do we
years. I
actually go
wish it
that
was only
far?
3 years.
Oh
At
my
the very
god.
least for
It's
venue.
beyond 3 years. No, this is the other thing. Like, it's not just a volunteer. Like, once you're a staff member, like, you've been sort of on board for a long time and doing the organizational aspect. Like, it's not. You can't treat it like work. If you treat it like work, then you're not going to enjoy it, and you shouldn't be volunteering. That's the whole point. Volunteering is like, you want to give up your time for it. And I don't want to get too like weird nostalgic about this or anything, but like, you have to want to do it. And we like when you say like countless volunteer hours, it's because I don't think about how much time I put. It's
It
Good
is
not
lord,
literally countless.
if you actually counted up the hours you were putting into Otafest, like, oh, holy cow.
the best
Mm-hmm.
way I can describe it to somebody who's not part of an organizing committee is that it's like if you have a significant other or someone that you're seeing, like you're dating, and like you don't really think about how much you think of your person, and then but you do think of them quite a lot, idly, and it's like sometimes it's you hear about your coworker tells you about a new restaurant, and you're like, I'd like you sort of subconsciously think almost that you're like, I'd like to go there with my
We could
person.
have Otafest at that restaurant.
Something like that. It's sort of that's the relative thing, but you don't really, you can't count the hours and the days that you think about, what you want to do and how you want to do it and where you want to go, but we do. That's a lot
I
of it.
think,
That's like sort of the passion. So
yeah, I
it's a
think
big
it
part.
very much becomes like it becomes one of the layers of the way you think. Like if you think
Absolutely.
about how your brain just typically works throughout the day, there's the surface thoughts of whatever it is you're dealing with right at this moment, whatever thing it is, whether it's a problem at work or a thing you're trying to solve, whatever. But like underneath
Imagine,
that, yeah, underneath that, there's a bunch of other things that thread their way into your consciousness, and Otafest is one of them.
imagine going to a water park and your first thought as you sit down for lunch, you're kind of tired out, but you're having a great time. And your first thought is, what are the ramifications of having this many wet people at Otafest? How do we have Otafest at a water park?
See, that's not a problem we have to think about. I think that's an Edmonton problem. We
Yeah.
don't have a good water park worth mentioning, really.
I know.
How much would it be
But
for us
imagine,
to have Otafest branded beach towels, I wonder? Like, that would be what I was thinking.
I mean,
just
that's
take
the
the
thing.
beach part out of it and you'll sell more.
Yeah,
Because there's not enough beaches
You're
in
probably
Alberta.
right.
I kind of want to make more scarves.
Scarves would be good.
Scarves are good.
The
Yeah.
problem with scarves is that we don't have a winter event anymore where it's 40 below outside,
Yeah, I know.
so that we can sell all the scarves to people who didn't dress properly for the event.
True. We can probably. This is not like. By the way, all of these like the quick spitballing we're doing here, not a guarantee of anything.
Good
Nope.
Lord, no! This
This is just
this
us
is
having
as
fun.
absolute as
But this is what
Otafest
I mean.
underwear.
These are like the idle thoughts that we have as Otafest volunteers and staff
No,
and
it's-
everything. Like you just think about it.
It's
Like,
true,
we
though. Like,
should
I don't think there's
probably make
anyone in staff where
masks.
you could be like, have you ever thought of this? And I'm sure that someone would just be like, oh, yeah, I thought about that. And also these
I
other
don't know
things.
what's coming up the merchandise pipeline, to be totally
No.
honest, but I
I have no
imagine
idea.
masks are coming up.
I mean,
one hand,
it
I hope
does
so.
seem topical.
On the other hand, there's part of me that's just so worn out that by the time that we can actually no, if they're ready for this year, that's absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say, like, do you not just
Actually,
I do you not have
I know,
nice masks?
I
Nice
know
masks?
of
Like,
one person who
Whatever.
actually does have an Otafest mask.
Oh.
I know of one Otafest superfan who legitimately had an Otafest mask custom printed for them.
When?
all right.
When was this?
This.
They told me about this a week ago.
Oh, okay, recent.
Is it
But
something
yeah,
we can
I'm
do
sure
in bulk?
something's coming up the line one day. I have no guarantees. I'm not part of the merch team. None of us are part of the merch team.
Nope.
But
We are not.
Otafest underwear when?
I have
Linus
drawn
Tech
up. I
Tips
have,
has underwear.
Here's the truth.
True.
I have drawn up socks and underwear, but they haven't been used or taken up on.
Yeah.
So that's on the rest of the team. You guys can email info@otafest.com and be like, where are they?
Do it.
Let us know
Anyways.
if you guys have merch ideas that you've thought of idly that you would love
I mean,
to see.
I don't see why not. But I think at this point we'll call it now. Thank you for listening, as always. Nancy's totally right. If you have any suggestions or comments, you can always email us, info@otafest.com. Check out otafest.com for the stream event stuff. We're getting the scheduling up there. We're getting all the special bits and guests. Yes, there will be guests up there.
Yes.
So yeah, check it out. And until then, we'll catch you on the next episode of the Otafest podcast. Bye-bye.
Smooth.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
It's not night.